What if I told you that Montblanc's most famous pens are made of plastic? Not gold, not silver, not even celluloid, just plastic. That's what critics say, at least. But Montblanc doesn't call it plastic. They call it precious resin. But what exactly is precious resin? Is it just a fancy marketing term? Or is there something truly special about it? Today we're uncovering the truth behind Montblanc's most controversial material and whether you've been paying thousands for just fancy plastic. If you've ever walked into a Montblanc boutique and picked up a Meisterstuck, you might have heard someone whisper, $1,000 for plastic? And honestly, at first glance, they have a point. Unlike luxury pens made from celluloid, ebonite, or sterling silver, Montblanc's most iconic models feel smooth, lightweight, and glossy. And if you knock one against your desk, it sounds suspiciously like plastic. So why do collectors still swear by it? What makes it precious? The answer lies in Montblanc's secret formula and a manufacturing process no one else in the industry uses. To understand why Montblanc uses precious resin, we need to go back to 1924, the birth of the Meisterstuck. Back then, Montblanc didn't use resin at all. Their pens were made of hard rubber, a material called ebonite. It was durable, heat-resistant, and had a deep black finish. But there was a problem. Ebonite ages terribly. Over time, it turns brownish, develops oxidation spots, and requires constant polishing. By the 1950s, Montblanc needed something better, something that wouldn't fade, crack, or degrade. That's when they introduced precious resin, a material they claimed was shinier, more durable, and scratch-resistant. But let's be clear, not all plastics are the same. Cheap, mass-produced pens, they use injection-molded plastic, thin, flimsy, and disposable. Montblanc's precious resin, it's different. It starts as a high-grade polymer blend, but what sets it apart is the manufacturing process. Instead of being mass-molded, Montblanc's resin is cured for weeks under high pressure. It's then hand-polished for hours to create that deep piano black finish. And it's reinforced with special additives that make it more resistant to scratches and UV damage. This is why a Montblanc pen maintains its glossy shine for decades, while cheap plastic pens become dull and brittle. So, what's inside Montblanc's precious resin? While Montblanc has never officially released the full formula, we know it contains high-density polymer blends, stronger than standard plastic UV stabilizers to prevent yellowing over time, micro-additives that create a richer, deeper shine, scratch-resistant coatings to maintain that flawless finish. And here's something most people don't know: precious resin is chemically closer to luxury eyewear materials, like the acetate used in high-end Cartier and Chanel glasses, than to cheap plastic pens. This is why Montblanc's pens don't just look better, they feel better in the hand. But let's be honest, Montblanc could have just called it high-grade resin. Instead, they chose precious resin. Why? Because luxury isn't just about materials, it's about perception. The word precious makes it sound exotic, rare, and sophisticated. And for Montblanc, that's part of the luxury experience. From the moment you walk into their boutique, you're not just buying a pen, you're buying heritage, craftsmanship, a status symbol. That's why Montblanc's branding is so powerful. When you hold a Meisterstuck, it's not just a writing instrument, it's a statement. So, is Montblanc just fancy plastic? The answer is simple: no. Precious resin isn't just about the material. It's about how it's made, how it's finished, and how it's perceived. It's not about plastic versus metal. It's about design, history, and craftsmanship. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Montblanc pens are worth the price? Or would you rather stick with something cheaper? Let's settle this debate in the comments.